As some of you may know, I've done some work in Haiti with the Heart to Heart Foundation. So Heart to Heart has a huge school with over 500 children, from which about 100 of them are orphans. And they live at the orphanage that is attached to the school. Now, farmers live in the mountains, and their children would have to walk over 4 hours down to get to the school every day. So instead of having to do that, the foundation has built 4 satellite schools up in the mountains so that the farmers' children can have education way up in the mountain. So one of the trips was after a hurricane that had devastated the crops. So food was even more scarce than before. So we had shipped containers of rice meals ahead of time, and we were delivering the rice to one of the schools in the mountain. There is no road, so we have to drive through the river, and it's not easy as the riverbed is pretty dry in most places, but we have to make sure to avoid all the big rocks. Well, we got stuck, and we were that time with the Toyota. It was a small trip, so we were just 6 of us, so 3 in the cabin and then 3 strapped over top of the rice bags. So that was quite the journey. So I don't need to tell you that food in Haiti, especially after a hurricane, is like the most coveted thing ever, even more than cash in some areas. So we would always travel with a security guard with us with a rifle. But that day, we did not have security with us. It was just a short trip, just the 6 of us. So picture us, we go do our delivery, and on the way back, we get stuck in the middle of the river. And then we hear some noise. And we're not sure what's going on. We've been working on trying to push the truck. And this really, really, really tall guy comes out of the trees with a giant machete. And I thought, okay, well, there's 6 of us. I guess we can't take him. But as he kept walking closer and closer, he became taller and taller. And soon enough, I thought, okay, that's it. My mom was totally right to be worried. And then I thought, oh gosh, like, too bad we don't have the food anymore. Like, we could just give him the food and he could spare our lives. And I don't know what's going to happen now. And then my brain starts making up a whole bunch of stories, because on the spot, you're freezing, like you freeze and you don't really have access because you're in prefrontal cortex overload, you're panicking, sweating. It is really, really hot. It is like 40 degrees. We're in the blaring sun. We're completely dehydrated. And finally, he gets close enough and he drops that huge bag that he's carrying on his back. And I thought, what the heck is that? Is he like some kind of Rambo now? And he's got some grenades and stuff in that bag. So he reaches in the bag and he pulls a coconut and he slices the top with his machete and he hands it to Duff, my husband. So we're like, oh, okay, thank you very much. He said that as he was climbed up at the top of the coconut trees, as he was picking coconut, he saw us and he figured that we were probably thirsty. Oh, nice. So Freddie here was totally nice. Like, we did not read this right at all. So at the end of the day, our brain had made up this whole thing. We made it so much worse. And we actually had a good time now. And we wanted to pay him for the coconut, and we didn't carry anything with us. We had a fabulous afternoon, and he actually helped us get back on the road, and we went on our way thanking him profusely. Now, 2 lessons here. 1, we are making things up all the time in our head. So be aware that your brain can tend to distort and exaggerate. So If you know that, that means that you might as well try to make things up that will suit you, that will make you feel great, and that will put you in full possession of your best self. Second lesson, be nice. Go over and above, and your customers will come back. We sure did, because we never forgot Freddie. On our next trip there, we actually stopped and on purpose, and we brought him a case of rice meals. That meant a full month of food for him and his family. So when you're nice, when you go over and above, your customers will come back. And you don't have to carry a machete around like Freddie, but figure out what they least expect. Freddie thought we may be thirsty, right? So next week, we're going to look at 4 ways that your brain can play trick on you. And then the following week, I will teach you 3 questions that you can use to avoid freaking out. So 3 questions that will help you when you are in this situation, that will help you stay calm. All right? I'll see you next week.